barbecue and grilling's made tasty. So today we're going to do one of our Traeger favorites, the Santa Ana tri-tip. So I'll put the inside of the description, I'll actually have a link to the downloadable PDF or recipe, if you will, so that you can do that. But anyways, this will kind of give you, our take on it. We do some of the same things, and then we may do some things a little bit different. And so, if you like this type of content, what do?
Subscribe!
Alright. So, with this one, I've prepped the tri-tip, so I cut off any of the, kind of that silver, material that you might see on top of it, some of the fat, so, it really looks nice and clean. And, I highly recommend doing that because otherwise it can come out a bit chewy, and then some of your rub may not penetrate near as much as you might want it to. So anyways, we're going to start with the rub here, and we'll put that on, and then I actually let it set overnight. You can do 1 to 4 hours, and then, smoke it and then cook it, but I like to do it overnight to really let the rub set in. And I just put it in a dish like this, put the rub on both sides, and then I leave it in the refrigerator open. It calls to close it, but with my meat, I like to put them in the refrigerator and leave them open. I think it penetrates and it basically penetrates better than if you cover it. So with this, like I said, you can download the recipe in the description. And then, so we've got some garlic salt, onion salt. It calls for onion powder or garlic powder, either one. I like the salts a little bit better, just a taste and preference deal. And then regular salt, and we use the pink Himalayan salt, just ground it up, but you can use whatever salt you like. And then some ground up pepper, some rosemary, and then we got cayenne pepper here, and then we've got some smoked paprika. It calls for just paprika. I like the smoked paprika a little bit better. So with that, we're going to go ahead and mix these together, and then we'll put them in a shaker here and kind of mix them up, and then we'll spread it on there nice and good, both sides, and then we'll let it set, and then we'll show you how we're going to make the mop sauce. Alright, start with one. So kind of handy to use a funnel.
Sounds so more fun.
Right. So I'm just going to shake this up on the shaker, like so, and then I'm just going to start spreading it on here pretty good. And then I'm just going to kind of pat it in, kind of get it set in there pretty good. Flip her over.
How do you know it's a girl?
Right, good question. Who knows which kind of cow it was? Maybe a heifer. Alright, so we're pretty well rubbed up there, and we'll let that bind, we'll let that sit overnight, let it soak in, and then we'll do the mopping sauce here in a minute. I got some of the paprika in my nose. Okay, so now we're going to prepare the mop sauce for when we're actually grilling it, that we'll put on each side. And so what we've got is we've got a 1/3 cup of olive oil, about 4 or 5 crushed garlic cloves, and then some red wine vinegar. And that the recipe doesn't call for this, but I've got some of the rub left over, and so I'll actually put a little bit of rub into the mopping sauce. I just kind of want to reinforce those flavors all the way throughout the cook. So, and we'll just mix these up. We'll mix them in, shake them up, and then we'll set it overnight too, so it sets up, and then it'll be ready to go when we're ready to cook. All right, want to do the oil? Let's do the oil and garlic. Eh? Alright, so we're good to go with our mopping sauce. We're all set up, so when everything's been marinated and ready to go, then we'll get the grill going and show you how we do that. We'll actually use a little bit of cast iron to don't have to, but it's just kind of one of those things that we like to do to get a little more char on there. So stay tuned. Alright, so we've got our Santa Maria tri-tip that marinated overnight in the fridge and it's looking really tasty. So I've got the grill turned up on high, so it's right around about 420, 430, which is perfect for this. And I've got my cast iron in here, so it'll sear up real nice. Put some olive oil on it, just so it doesn't stick too bad. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it on, and then I'll check it every 5 minutes. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my temp probe, because I just want to get it to 130. Once it reaches an internal temp of 130, I'm going to pull it off and let it rest for 10 minutes. So I'm not worried about the time as much as I am the temperature. Alright, so we will give her 5 minutes, flip it, and then see where we're at temp-wise, and just keep doing that every 5 minutes. Alright, so we got our internal temp up to 130 and took it off right away, and then letting it rest. We let it rest for 10 minutes before we cut into it. And if you haven't tried it before, these J.K. Adams cutting boards are great. It's made for poultry, but you can put your meat in there while it rests. And it's nice because nothing goes out to the sides and that type of stuff. Everything stays right in there, so it's kind of a nice way to rest it. And then we'll move it over here to cut it. And see what we've got. The grain's running this way on this part, so I'm going to cut against the grain with some slices, and we'll give it a test drive and see what it tastes like, and go from there. I know you've been excited about it. Oh yeah. This is looking really good. See that's a nice piece right there. You want that one? Uh-huh. Alright, fair enough. Alright, so let's see how we did. Wow.
This is so good.
Santa Maria tri-tip. This is really good. Excellent flavors. You can taste the spice, the salts. Meat's incredibly tender, moist, juicy. It was really good. So, if you like this type of content and this type of food, what should you do?
Subscribe.
Alright, thanks. This is awesome, friend. Come try it.